Hello and welcome to ISTV English News. Let's take a look at the top story first. 2 brothers killed in accident, son critically injured. Now the news in detail. 2 brothers were killed and a son of one of the 2 victims was seriously injured in a road mishap that occurred around 6:30 am today at Oinam under the jurisdiction of Nambol police station. The 2 deceased have been identified as Gurumayum Pritam Kumar, 41, and his younger brother Gurumayum Jit, 31, both sons of G. Gunamani Sharma of Nongmaibung Old Chekon in Imphal East district. In the accident, a 13-year-old son of Pritam Kumar, identified as G. Athauba Sharma, reportedly sustained serious injuries and he is undergoing treatment at Shija Hospital at Langol. According to reports received by the ISTV News, the 2 brothers and the boy were travelling in a Tata Super ACE to purchase poultry when a passenger bus coming from Moirang collided with the Tata Super head-on. The 2 brothers reportedly died on the spot. Nambol police have registered a case and investigation is on. On the other hand, 2 persons who came in an Alto car were injured in an accident that happened around 8:30 p.m. yesterday at Naurenthong Bazaar. The Alto car registration number AR122514 reportedly dashed against an electric pole erected on the median. The injured have been hospitalized. The national political parties do not want to implement ILP system and want to gobble up the minority groups. The regional parties want to implement the ILP system and save the minority groups. This was stated by President of MPP N. Sobhakiran at the inaugural function of a debating competition held at the Manipur Press Club. Dr. L. Chandramani took part in the function as the speaker of the debating competition, jointly organized by Chanura Marup and Youth Front of MPP. The topic was, only the regional political parties can usher in maximum development in a state. 27 supporters and 47 opposers participated in the competition. At the inaugural ceremony, President Sobhakiran further said that India is a country where different peoples with different languages, different ethnic groups and races, different colors, etc. inhabit. Holding the reins of power by just one national party in such a vast country is a sign of suppressing the small ethnic groups. No national party wants to enforce the ILP system in any state. Once the ILP system is enforced, the major communities cannot continue gobbling up the small ethnic communities freely as they are doing right now. The regional parties want to save their own states and want to enforce the ILP system, he said.
3 inner permit kaidonnoibu akogi minority oriba community se muthana bo honabo pame maram sina ko ngasi chinjabagi maramdi manipur da laiba lai lai so hariba naharon sing halaman sing punamak se wakalam tang khanbiraga akogi magi regional party se kanthal kanda achoba bharo nama akan bharo nama sembang ngamni ha wakalonda akogi ngasi debating competition autok chala.
Prizes were given away to the winners of the locality cleanliness competition organized for the 2nd year consecutively by the Socio-Economic and Educational Upliftment Society, (CUS), formed by 15 clubs of Sekmai and Kangla Tongbi areas at a function held at the community hall of Awang Sekmai today. MLA of Thongju Assembly Constituency, Thongam Bishwajit, was the chief guest and MLA of Sekmai Assembly Constituency presided over the prize distribution function. Many members of Gram Panchayats also attended the function. For this year, the Progressive Youth Development Organization bagged the first prize for keeping the locality under its jurisdiction in the most neat and clean manner. Awang Sekmai Youth Organization won the 2nd prize, while Sekmai New Market Development Association and Parao Khongba Youth Development Association shared the 3rd prize. The winners were honored at the function and given cash awards and certificates. Executive member of CUS, Angom Sabam Jila, said the main objective of the program is to keep the surrounding areas neat and clean so that not only the human beings but also all the living beings may be benefited. The prizes are given in recognition of the efforts of the concerned clubs in keeping their areas neat and clean for one whole year continuously. This program enables not only the clubs but also the local residents of the areas concerned to remain united, which in turn makes the people live healthy and without any disease, he said. The Tangkhul Katamnao Long Delhi TKLD or Tangkhul Students Union Delhi staged a protest against the prolonged siege of Ukhrul town by promulgation of section 144 CRPC. A large number of students converged at the Manipur Bhavan in Delhi to register their protest and submit a memorandum addressed to the Chief Minister of Manipur by the Naga Civil Society in Delhi calling for immediate withdrawal of the prohibitory orders. It may be noted that the government of Manipur clamped section 144 CRPC since July 13, 2014 in Ukhrul town. The memorandum called for respecting the autonomy of free Naga customary law practice and other hill tribes as enshrined under Article 371C of the Indian Constitution and the Manipur Legislative Assembly Hill Areas Committee Order 1972 to assuage any communal feeling between the ruling elitist community and the Nagas and other hill tribes of the state, to honor the ceasefire agreement between the Government of India and the NSE and IM, to strengthen the peace dialogue between the Government of India and the Naga people for immediate resolution, and to immediately release the 8 arrested innocent civilians. Convener of the organizing committee, Lakpa Chui Siro, said, if the government continues to ignore the democratic voice of the people and does not immediately withdraw the deployment of IRBs and commandos, the Nagas would be left with no alternative but to rise up in open civil insurrection and drive them out by whatever means, and the government would be held solely responsible for whatever consequence that ensues. Treasurer of Umang Lai Kanba Apunba Lup Ukal, Mutum Maniton, has expressed serious concern over the government's decision to keep Umang Lai under the supervision of Govindaji Temple Board. It may lead to create animosity between the devotees of Hinduism and Sanamahi faith. He said this at one-day discussion on Sri Govindaji Temple Board Amendment Bill 2014 held at Iboyaima Shumang Lila Shanglen today. Chairperson of Lining Thau Sanamahi Thaugal Lup Oinam Menjor, Chairman of Lai Harauba Kanglon Ngakshe Lup Ngarianbam Kangjia Mangang, Vice Chairman Nauroibam Indramani, Member Mutua Bahadur and many eminent persons took part in the discussion. Maniton further said, Umang Lai Harauba has been performed since many years in every lekais without segregating any difference over religion between Hinduism and Sanamahi lining. The Umang Lais to be kept under the supervision of the Govindaji temple, which is for all Hindu devotees. Then there may be a group of Hindu Umang Lai, he said. Besides, the Govindaji temple performed the religious occasion under the yardstick of Hindu rites. However, the rituals of Umang Lai are held under the traditions of Sanamahi lining. Under this point of view, the two religions cannot go hand in hand, he added. Moving on to some national and international news now. Assam Chief Minister Tarun Gogoi on Saturday sought Prime Minister Narendra Modi's help in restoring peace along the Assam-Nagaland border after bodies of 8 Assam villagers were recovered on Friday. 3 bodies were recovered on Tuesday. 7 Assam villagers have been injured and over 10,000 people from more than 10 villages sheltered in 13 relief camps. The government hasn't ruled out involvement of NSE and IM cadres in the border flare-up. A low-intensity earthquake measuring 4.8 on the Richter scale shook India's northeastern states and parts of Myanmar on Saturday, authorities said. The quake occurred at 10:09 p.m. There were no immediate reports of casualties or damage to property. According to the Regional Seismological Center in Shillong, the epicenter was along the India-Myanmar border in Manipur. The tremor was also felt in Meghalaya, Nagaland, Arunachal Pradesh and Assam. Female employees of public sector banks will soon be entitled to a major benefit of getting transfers of their choice. The Finance Ministry has asked the banks to formulate women-friendly transfer policies so that they can get transfers at places where their husbands are working or parents are living. The Department of Financial Services, sources said, has asked public sector banks, PSBs, to formulate transfer and posting policies in such a way so as to minimize hardship of women employees. A 5-member committee headed by UP Minister Shivpal Yadav, which probed the communal violence in Saharanpur that left 3 persons dead, has blamed administrative lapses for the incident and questioned the role of BJP. BJP has dismissed the report as an attempt by the Samajwadi Party to gain political mileage. The report of the committee has blamed laxity of some officers and said the government should take stern action against them to give a message to the bureaucracy. The committee in its report, sources said, has alleged that a local BJP MP provoked the rioters, which led to attempts to torch shops. It alleged that the administration became active only after the violence broke out. In a first step for a central armed police force, CRPF has decided to honor its jawans and officers killed in action with the prefix Shaheed in their names. The country's leading anti-Naxal operations force, which by virtue of its huge deployment has the highest casualty rate among all forces deployed in internal security duties, has issued instructions for use of the prefix with immediate effect for all casualties where the trooper or officer was on duty. Colonel retired Dhanveer Singh said on Sunday that Pakistan is resorting to ceasefire violations as it wants to keep the issue of Jammu and Kashmir's disputed status alive. He also stated that the firing has mostly been concentrated in the plain region as there is easy media access and the civilian population is residing quite close to the border. At least 85 persons have been killed and 139 gone missing in the last 3 days in floods and landslides triggered by incessant rainfall in various districts across Nepal. As many as 73 people have lost their lives in the mid-western region, while 131 are still missing. The number of missing might go up, officials said. Floods have completely damaged more than 7,000 households in the mid-western region. More than 12,000 households have been inundated in Bardia alone. The swollen Karnali River has swept away 3 suspension bridges. And now let's take a look at the top story once again. 2 brothers killed in accident, son critically injured. Thanks for joining us. Do keep watching ISTV News for more updates.